Tzu Chi continues rice distribution to families during coronavirus epidemic in the Philippines. Young people start business to rent tableware to cut down on plastic garbage and waste. I'm Sean Scanlon. This is DAI Headlines. Tzu Chi Philippines chapter continued to host rice distributions in Caloocan. 2,000 households benefited, along with 300 households in Palo Great Love Village.
Before Tzu Chi's rice distribution, masks 1 meter apart were drawn on the floor for social distancing during the current epidemic. Yet, the hearts of everyone were very close. This mother was so happy she burst into tears. She finally has enough to eat, so she can have enough milk to feed her 3-month-old baby.
I'm very happy because I can be full and feed my baby.
This distribution was held in Caloocan. There are 20 barovs in 1,982 households in total. The impoverished families can finally receive help.
This is a great help to me. I'm just a tricycle driver. With this bag of rice, my whole family won't starve.
The police and staff of the borough chief's office also came to help.
To many impoverished families, this is a great help, especially during this period, allowing them to get the food without going far away. This is a very important and urgent thing.
This day is Tzu Chi's 54th anniversary. Volunteers have deep feeling when giving of themselves among the crowd.
Being able to care for others is more meaningful than the value of money.
There are so many people receiving our help. During a critical period, we can contribute a little to help them. I'm very pleased and hope that this epidemic will end soon.
There are also 300 households in Palo Great Love Village receiving rice. In order to avoid direct contact, the bags of rice were placed on a chair outside each house. Maintaining a safe distance, the sincere care will last forever.
In Quezon City, Philippines, a fire took place in January and many families have been displaced. Because of the coronavirus epidemic, people cannot go out to work and many have gone hungry.
It is hard to imagine that a piece of canvas, several wooden pillars and boards is where some people call home. In Quezon City, many people live in such places.
Thank you for delivering rice. It is very helpful to us. We no longer need to go hungry as there is food now.
In January, they lost their homes to a fire. Then they cannot work because of the epidemic, meaning they have to go hungry.
I am a single mother and I don't have work during the epidemic time. The borough chief has given us food so we can barely get by. This 25 kilograms of rice can sustain us for half a month.
To help impoverished families, Tzu Chi Philippines chapter is distributing rice in several cities. In Quezon City, Santo Domingo, volunteers distributed rice to nearly 4,000 families. Many residents also help out with the distribution.
Although we do not have much money, we are willing to help our community. If Tzu Chi needs us in other places, we are also willing to help out. The borough chief saw how we came to help these impoverished families selflessly, and he was deeply touched. So he hopes that the borough residents can join the distribution. Before the distribution, 100 residents became our volunteers. They hope Tzu Chi volunteers will lead them.
Thank you. Besides giving rice to impoverished families, volunteers also prepared 550 bags of rice for the army. In this critical time, their gestures of kindness bring warmth to everyone.
Tzu Chi volunteers continue to give out rice to underprivileged people in Greater Manila. They estimate helping 4,000 families.
Binigay ko po yung alkansya ko po kasi nagtitiwala po ako sa Tzu Chi na maraming po mapupuntahan yung tulong ko po. At napakalit lang po na lagi po lang sinasabi na
As they walk in line, they also keep a distance of 1 meter. Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a rice distribution in Marikina City of the Greater Manila area. The rice arrives at an alley in Nangka Borough. and then it's brought into the borough by relay, and the residents can pick theirs with their voucher. One former Tzu Chi AS student pays back to Tzu Chi with his coin bag.
Nagbigay po ako ng konting tulong lang po ng alkansya ko po na inipon ko po.
This little amount is what I usually save in a water bottle. Tzu Chi helped me finish my studies, so I will never forget it. Everyone cannot go out to work during this difficult time, so the rice is very helpful, and I'm very grateful to Tzu Chi.
Na po yung pagkain na lang. At maraming salamat po talaga.
The residents brought out chairs and presents at a safe distance. The volunteers hosted 24 sharings like this in 22 alleys. When the government gave people like chickens as food at the beginning of this month, local Tzu Chi volunteers did not kill them, but raised them as pets.
We don't kill these chickens. We raise them as pets and also bathe them. So we hope everyone won't kill animals for food. They should all be vegetarian, and that is good for the earth.
While the pandemic is spreading, we should be on the lookout for the virus instead of guarding against bad intentions. Tzu Chi volunteers continue to pay their paths with love to reach people's hearts.
Tzu Chi volunteers have obtained Philippines government permission to distribute to more than 70,000 families throughout the country. Recently, they distributed rice to 4,150 families in Marikina.
Opening the canvas, one sees the piles of rice. During the lockdown, impoverished families finally received the needed help.
Thank you, Tzu Chi. Although I am Muslim, you did not discriminate. You still help us regardless of religious differences.
At the waiting area, volunteers space out the seating area. Then they promote vegetarianism in the open area.
Tingnan niyo lifestyle natin. Sino dito hindi kumakain ng manok, baboy, baka, kambing, isda? Taas kamay. Wala. Anong tinanim mo?
We reap what we saw. In the past, when caged animals were slaughtered, they were very scared. Now it is humans' turn. Everyone has to wear masks because we are afraid of contracting the virus and dying.
My husband worked as a butcher before, killing chickens and pigs. 6 years ago, I asked him to stop doing it because I heard that the master wants us to embrace vegetarianism.
We need to respect life so we can pray for the epidemic to end soon.
While giving out much-needed rice, volunteers also promote vegetarianism, hoping more people will eat healthy as they fight the epidemic.
Recently, a fundraising event began for the epidemic relief efforts, with volunteers from all walks of life mobilized to help make bread for a charity sale, as they all hope to put an end to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Looking at the order list, these volunteers need to make nearly 3,000 pieces of bread for the day. Kneading the dough, then adding the 5 grains powder for filling, the volunteers work as fast as they can while putting a bit of their well wishes into each.
We want this epidemic to end soon.
While the bread is rising, the ones in the oven need tending to. It's past lunchtime and some have not stopped to eat yet.
I feel joy, Dharma joy, and gratefulness, so I don't feel tired at all.
Helping the bread cool is the fan. It is placed at a safe distance.
面包，你赶快降温了，你再不降温的话，可能就等一下会被隔离了。
After cooling, it is packaged and sent down to the pickup area.
I like their bread. It's made with real ingredients.
There are some 40 people here to rush out the orders, including recycling volunteers, community volunteers, and even a team of nurses.
I was working in the morning at the clinic, and I came over around lunchtime because I must seize the opportunity to do good deed, because life is impermanent, especially after seeing the effects of this epidemic.
Thanks to the support of everyone, volunteers and donors alike, even a small piece of bread can help support the fund for epidemic relief efforts.
An average Taiwanese person buys 44 takeaway drinks per year. This can create lots of plastic waste. Therefore, an environmental container rental service has been created, asking customers to rent containers with a paid deposit. On this griddle, scallion pancakes are sizzling, especially prepared to make the dough crispy. Another stall, corn rotates 360 degrees on a fire, exuding a wonderful aroma. All kinds of food on offer are attracting crowds, and everyone here brings their own environmentally friendly tableware.
I am doing this to reduce some of the amount of pollution from plastic bags.
I saw a turtle with a straw stuck in his nose. It couldn't breathe because of this, and I think it was very sad.
This is an environmentally friendly night market initiated by young people. If you pass by and forget to bring tableware, there's a rental service on site.
PP that can resist 100-degree heat is number 5 plastic. This is made from cornstarch, which we call PLA, that can be used repeatedly. After it is used and discarded, it can be sorted for recycling. We mainly do our activities, so it is necessary to choose materials that are safe to use and can be heat resistant.
Lin Zhilong started an environmentally friendly tableware rental business. Friends call him Along. He studied machine engineering at university and loved takeaway drinks like many people. In the past, he would often buy such drinks, but then he learned that a disposable cup is typically used for just 15 minutes before it ends up in the trash bin. In addition, the EPA and the Economics Ministry data show that Taiwan consumes an average of 2 billion disposable beverage cups a year. A few years ago, Lin Zhilong worked in a non-profit environmental protection organization, saw the French Environmental Protection Cup enterprise trying to end this cycle of waste. In 2016, he found the same goods and started this environmentally friendly container rental service.
再过去一点，再过去一点，稍微打回一点，打回一点，对。
Lin Zhilong personally drives the truck that delivers environmentally friendly cups to a warehouse in preparation for a run-up Taipei 101 in 2019. The organizer of the event is cooperating with Lin Zhilong's team to try to replace the paper cups with an environmentally friendly alternative to reduce the amount of garbage. To promote the concept of environmental protection, the cups are collected and then handed over to a professional cleaning plant. Collecting and cleaning used items are the greatest cost. Although cleaning is handled by a professional, occasionally there will be unexpected issues.
It's deformed. Yes, this dish is deformed. Why is it deformed? Because it got too hot during the cleaning process, and then it was pressed when it was hot. This is a natural material, corn.
At present, the wear rate is about 2%, which is the range that the team can tolerate. However, in the past 3 years of entrepreneurship, the biggest challenge has been the coronavirus epidemic, as many large-scale activities have been canceled or postponed. This has impacted the company's revenue, with his family members wondering how long he can stay afloat.
My family is a little worried. They will also ask directly whether activities have been dramatically reduced. Of course they care, but they will not ask directly if I have any income.
From February to March alone, this team had almost no business opportunities, but they have spent a long time pursuing this innovative service, which has gradually gained recognition. Even if the general environment is sluggish, they're committed to sticking to it. In the fight against COVID-19, the state of New York has asked its citizens to wear masks when going outside. The day after Tzu Chi received this news, Taiwan Tzu Chi Foundation purchased 700,000 masks from overseas sources and had delivered them to the East Coast.
During the 7 degrees Celsius morning, near 20 Tzu Chi volunteers have arrived to receive this truck of supplies. Inside are 630,000 masks, which Taiwan's Tzu Chi Foundation has purchased from overseas and arranged for delivery to New York. Some volunteers even put aside their own job to help unload today.
It feels good to come out. I didn't think there would be so many brothers here. When we received the message, we all came. This brother is supposed to be working today.
This shipment is not medical-grade face masks. The Tzu Chi New York chapter has been assigned 490,000 masks, which it will also share with the Texas chapter and Puerto Rico. Meanwhile, 140,000 masks go to the New Jersey chapter, which the volunteers came to pick up themselves.
Everything went smoothly. Thank you so much for this support.
The governor of New York just ordered residents to wear masks outside when social distancing is not possible. Thus, the chapter will be giving these masks to the police, charity organizations, religious groups, and also Tzu Chi members, volunteers, and their family as well.
These are level 1 non-medical masks, which will be given to category 3 or 4, non-medical workers and or Tzu Chi brothers and sisters to use. As the government has just announced, everyone must wear a mask when they cannot practice social distancing outside, so these will come in handy.
Besides the 630,000 masks sent to New York, there are 70,000 masks going straight to the Washington, D.C. chapter. Under the strict airport and overloaded logistics systems these days, these supplies were able to arrive within 2 weeks, thanks to the help of Tzu Chi volunteer Horace Wang, who was in the customs business.
The airport staff, customs, and even Homeland Security, when they knew about these supplies, they made sure to help us. They went by the book to process everything and didn't let anything slide. As the amount was astronomical, but in the end, everyone was very willing to lend a hand because they knew Tzu Chi was here to help.
A pack of masks will not only help protect the wearer, but it is embedded with the love and care from miles away. Lots of people are working together, giving of themselves, making sure people of the world stay safe from this epidemic.
As COVID-19 spreads globally, Mozambique Tzu Chi volunteers found ways to share epidemic prevention knowledge with residents. They also made health knowledge videos, which were uploaded onto the internet.
People come and go at the main bus station. Tzu Chi volunteers distribute masks on the streets, delighting this bus driver.
Even if it's dirty, it's true. Before I was using this mask, so now I will use this mask. Thank you.
The government requires people to wear masks in public places, especially drivers. However, currently it is very difficult to obtain masks, so the government has asked Tzu Chi for help.
As the epidemic spread globally, masks are very precious. In Mozambique, not everyone can afford soaps, which cost 30 cents each. It is common for people to use coal ash as replacement in the countryside. Therefore, the government is promoting hand washing procedures. Putting on white gloves, volunteers demonstrate ways to wash one's hands. They have left out the areas not stained by the ink. Officials from the Sanitation Bureau have come to Tzu Chi office to share health knowledge.
This also comes in contact with your arms and clothes. Wash it thoroughly.
Tzu Chi volunteers take on the mission of sharing health knowledge in the community. They go to people's houses to share epidemic prevention knowledge.
This is an important time. We are working with the government and local chiefs who lead us into the community. Everyone feels anxious. We need the guidance of chiefs to share the correct knowledge.
Volunteers teach ways to wash hands and wear masks. They even made videos that are uploaded onto the internet. The act to convey the message that people should go out less and maintain social distances.
Okay, menino. Ciao, ciao.
Since resources are lacking, volunteers work hard to share epidemic prevention knowledge to protect the health of the residents.
In the current epidemic, the mask buying system is constantly changing, and hence the workload on pharmacists is becoming heavier. Sometimes they do not have time to have lunch. In appreciation of their contributions, Tzu Chi volunteers made vegetarian lunch boxes.
The vegetarian lunch boxes were carefully prepared. From controlling the cooking flame to arranging the dishes, the volunteer cooks in Shilins were very diligent.
We are at the Xinguang recycling station. We usually cook lunch for recycling volunteers here. We are very grateful for the contributions made by the pharmacists in our community during the current epidemic. So we will send them vegetarian lunch boxes.
With a view of comforting the pharmacists and also promote vegetarianism, a group of volunteers delivered vegetarian lunch boxes one by one. The benefits of growing meatness are all attached to the cover of the lunch boxes.
Sometimes when I'm busy, I really do not have time to buy lunch or heat my lunchbox. So I'm very touched to receive this lunchbox.
I hope to maintain a meatless diet after the epidemic. I want to stay healthy. At least I will try a week of vegetarian dinner to see if I can get used to it.
The pharmacist made a vow to go meatless, safeguarding her health while fighting against the epidemic.
Tainan Tzu Chi volunteers received a report to help an elderly couple sanitize their home. This couple both suffer from scabies. When they visited, they learned one suffered from a stroke and the other had dementia. They lived in a filthy home, so the volunteers cleaned their home and brought them comfortable beds.
Wearing the plastic raincoats and other necessary protection, volunteers helped this family who suffer from scabies. The couple's home was originally a car repair shop. It has no divisions and the place is filthy. The volunteers move all the furniture out because they want to sanitize the whole place to get rid of the scabies.
Their living environment is not ideal because the two seniors suffer from scabies. They have been treated, so it's stable now. So we want to give their home a complete clean-up.
When the volunteers came to this house, they see Mr. Chen suffers from stroke, so he needs a walker to help him walk around. And he also has to look after his wife who has dementia. The volunteers bring them to sick beds. The couple's son works as a janitor, so he can improve the family's condition. The volunteers' presence gives them more assistance. With a safer living environment, their son feels at ease.
This is very helpful so they can sleep better and the living environment has improved.
Volunteers help the elderly couple stay away from the scabies and also pass on love to them as they live difficult lives.
In this coronavirus epidemic, many firefighters are working hard as Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers are preparing vegetarian lunch boxes for firefighters for 10 days in a row. We'll leave you with these images. Goodbye.